What do you need to know about your main panel and surge protection in general? One of the calls we just ran out to today, the customer had a surge protector. Granted, this surge protector was installed 30 years ago, roughly. And the surge protector had failed. It had actually lost its UL listing because it was not a very good surge protector and everything else. That had caused their furnace circuit board to fail. And as we start looking at their system, they have a panel that is almost 40 years old. And so it had been overheating and causing them a whole bunch of different issues as well. And so the customer ended up having to pay to replace the circuit board in their furnace. It was a Lennox furnace, so it was a pretty expensive circuit board. They still have to change out that surge protector and technically upgrade their panel. Although because, the situation's not great for a lot of different people right now, they opted not to do those repairs with us right at this moment. They want to save up some money, see what they can't do in order to make it work a little bit better. Now, all of that being said, it's intriguing because at my new house, granted it's a 114-year-old house, but I had to run a new power pole. I replaced every breaker, every last thing, put in a surge protector. And it's intriguing because I had 3 power outages just this morning. Now, as you can see behind me, it's been snowing, raining. I think it got down to 12 degrees at my house last night. And you have all of the ideal problems created for a power outage, for a surge. And so it becomes intriguing because when you look at the cost of a new surge protector, typically they're going to be between $400 and $800 depending on your house, how many amps you have, everything else going to it. And then you look at everything you can lose. Just because they hadn't upgraded the surge protector, they spent, over $1,000 getting their furnace repaired because the boards and everything else had blown inside of it. Had they just changed the surge protector, it would have cost half as much as the other repairs. And when you look at a normal house right now, it's intriguing how many items need surge protection. Again, at my farmhouse, I have 1,050 square feet. If you look at it, I have, yes, my furnace and my heat pump have circuit boards in them that are going to potentially fail if I have power surges. Then I have my microwave, my oven, my dishwasher, my fridge are all smart appliances. And so technically all of them can have surges. Even as my wife and I purchased our new beds, we decided to go with adjustable bases because, as you can imagine, I snore a great deal. And when I'm on an adjustable base, it tends to help solve that problem just by lifting my head up a little bit, putting me in a more comfortable position. But even as you read the instructions for the adjustable base, which has, 2 different motors on it and the circuit board controlling it, the remote control, it clearly says that you must have surge protection installed for this device. And it's kind of funny because one simple surge and you just blew the bases on your mattresses, lost your ability to sleep. Then you look at the fact that my wife and I both work from home a decent amount. We have our home computers, our tablets, our phones. Technically, I have all my camera equipment, my drone that can be plugged in, have a surge, and cost me a huge amount of money. So when you look at what it costs to make sure you have a surge protector on your house, there is no reason not to do it because of how much money it's going to end up saving you in the long term. So if you haven't looked into whole home surge protection, look into it and then understand your breakers. So at my last house in Sandy, the house had been built, I think in 72, 76, somewhere in that general area. And it was interesting because it was a great house. I do heating and air, plumbing, all of that was my expertise before we added electrical and did all those things. So I had upgraded all of those, but then we wanted to install a hot tub. And as we went to install our hot tub, we didn't have enough power. So we were going to have to upgrade our entire meter, replace some of the breakers, do a panel upgrade, basically do all of the different things. And as we started pulling this all apart, so that we could make all of this happen so that I could have my hot tub, we found breakers that had overheated the wire that were starting to melt. Thankfully, it was on the outside of my house, or I think it would have started a fire prior to this happening. And I don't know why I had left a 50-year-old breaker panel sitting on my house when I know the dangers of so many other things. But that's what I had done. And so as I upgraded it, it made me realize the importance of ensuring that everything in your house is actually electrically safe. When we're talking about this customer that we went out to today, a simple surge protector could have saved their house, saved their furnace circuit board, caused them to not have a night without sleep, not have to pay an emergency dispatch fee and everything else to get us out there in the middle of the night. As we talked to them about the surge protector, they were so unaware of the issue that it was. And this story gets even worse because they had called another company out there. The other heating and air conditioning company that went out there, they'd also paid them an emergency dispatch fee, but they had told the customer the problem was electrical and they couldn't figure it out. They couldn't figure it out just because what had happened is the surge protector was causing power not to go through it. Part of why the surge protector had lost its UL listing. So there wasn't power getting to the furnace, so they couldn't realize that the circuit board had failed. So if you haven't checked, go out and check, see if you have a surge protector on your system or not. Usually it's going to be mounted right near or inside of your main breaker panel. It'll be quite obvious. It's, roughly the size of a soda can, and it'll be sitting right there, but not an actual breaker. And then look at the age of your panel. If you don't know the age, pull the pictures from it, send them over to us. We'll gladly tell you the age completely free. So that you know what's going on with your actual system. And more than anything, just make sure that you're taking the little steps to ensure that your house is safe and you're not going to cause yourself to spend an exorbitant amount of money that you don't actually need to spend just because something like a surge protector could have protected it.